Welcome to a podcast capturing the antics of two geeks who talk about video game culture and influence, both old and new, all through chaotic banter and tangential tangents that make no sense. My name is Mask. Got it going on like Stacy's mom. This is my pal Red.
Stacy, can't you see? You're just not the one for me.
And together we make the Reddmasq Podcast. This is episode 9. So it's fucking cold out. Like,
oh yeah,
super fucking cold.
Absurdly cold. Like the winter storm happened.
Yeah.
I shared the news with my Australian friend, and I was like, "I'll let you do the conversion to Celsius to be a surprise." And then he's like, so he did it, and then he gets back to me in all capital letters, -17 degrees, and I was like, "Yeah,
that is just that cold. Like it has been -2 up here after wind chills factored in." And like, we live near a lake, so we also get the fun of lake effect snow. I've been shoveling out my driveway piles and piles of snow and ice and just all sorts of enjoyable stuff. I've done it every year. I can't complain about it, but it's just something that you just do, and it's just blah. No, but like, the Midwest doesn't get like crazy snow, but they get crazy cold, and it sounds like, yeah, you've been dealing with that too. Do you want to start off with the recomposition, some of the HD resamplings that have kind of crapped up on YouTube in the past few years?
oh yeah." So something that a lot of people like to do because it's a fun project, I'm sure, is basically taking old video game music that uses samples and figuring out what those samples are and recreating it in high quality. And the one that we found that is very, very high in that is I found the Wario Land 4 title theme that has all the samples recovered and removed all the compression on it, so it just sounds absurdly crisp and almost kind of wrong because of it. Because it's like you hear all these voice samples that are no longer bit crushed for the GBA.
Right, and because like the GBA sound chip is infamously like not the easiest thing to work with. Some games have made it work like amazingly well, like Mother 3, for instance.
Yeah. It's like, I feel like Wario Land 4, the compression they worked with the compression to make it work a lot better. So yes, hearing it uncompressed kind of messes with you.
The original samples are just like, I got the lyrics wrong for years, I realized.
Yeah. Because like it's just a bunch of basic samples from CDs that you would find.
From like the 2000s, yeah.
My favorite is This Is Mother Funky, because managing to get that in a Nintendo game, really funny to me.
That's the intro theme, right?
Yeah, the intro theme.
Yeah, what I thought I heard for years of that was like, "You are tough. This guy here is tough," but it's "Here I come."
Yeah.
Look out, here I come. From like the vocalist. I got that wrong for years, and I didn't even know.
Yeah. It's the vocalist, as in the person who did the sample.
It really is incredible how you can just take these songs and just like find stuff in them. Like, my favorite there in Monsoon Jungle was the guitar segment, but they also had this like chalkboard screech they kind of used in the background with it. And when you scaled it up to HD without the compression, it just doesn't sound quite the same. Like,
it's also not a chalkboard screech.
Okay.
It's someone moving their hands across the guitar.
Guitar strings, yeah, like scratching on a record player. But instead of a record player, it's a guitar in this case, yeah.
They're moving their hand to a new chords, and because they drag it across the strings, it makes that noise.
Right. Yeah, there's some real standouts in here, and we'll link that in the show notes. It's really interesting stuff. A lot of other games have followed suit with this. I recall, like Mystery Dungeon also had a recomposition project like this with, like, all the instruments under, like, well, without GBA or DS compression.
Yeah, so, and I saw
really cool stuff.
I found a whole album of SimCity Super Nintendo uncompressed, which is basically just they found all the basic. They just found all the samples and all the instruments they use on various keyboards or whatever, MIDIs, and then remade the composition with the higher quality sound. Like
you're remaking the song in its entirety, but just with better instruments, basically.
Or same instruments, but better quality.
Yeah, that. And it is cool stuff.
Speaking of cool, the temperature.
Yeah. How about everyone's favorite topic of AI, though?
Oh yeah.
Everyone has seen on Twitter, maybe from one source or another, that, yeah, some of the tweets are kind of using AI art, and some of the companies are apologizing. Looking at you once again, Wizards of the Coast. Why are you guys like this? Every fucking year. But another company that did that had a very simple question. What's your favorite RPG over the years? And what the fuck was paired with this? Do you remember the image? Let me get the image for you, Red.
No, well, they deleted it, so I kind of
They did
missed it.
delete
You
it?
would, yeah, they did delete it. That's why they apologized in the forums. It was like the apology in the forums was because they couldn't put it out through the tweet. So like their basic,
Not the
like for
found.
some reason,
Oh god.
the company we're talking about is Mad Cats.
Yes.
They made because by the time you showed me, they had deleted it and made the apology in the forums.
Yep, and they couldn't make it publicly. They made it
Yeah,
in like internet forums where we usually get our news.
yeah, it's just
Honestly, like just seeing some of this stuff, like it's just AI art, and you can just tell because like the way the lines are. The sword is bent here. The sword is bloody bent in one of these characters' hands. It's not
amazing.
royalty-free Pikachu if it's AI. I mean, come on.
It's just not the smartest tools in the shed.
No, and like if you look at the character's eyes, they don't do them any justice. I mean, also,
Yeah,
what the what is this thing? What is this bird thing that has like 7 limbs and like just who
is
thinks
that
this is
supposed to be a?
okay?
Is that supposed to be a chocobo?
I don't
Is that what
know.
the AI thinks a chocobo looks like?
I
Anyways,
don't know. Don't look behind
anyways,
it because like the background to it is also like nightmare fuel. But yeah,
it's just a general noise.
yeah.
But Mad Catz deleted the tweet and they couldn't publicly apologize, so someone came to the forum and apologized there because I don't understand what's the company politics are.
Like, you could just apologize to the public, to the people following you, and it would be just fine. In the actual, like, replies of the thread, I mean, great place to find any information, right? You'll get a bunch of rage bait there from, like, internet
God,
trolls and things, but, like,
don't
the
I've
company
seen.
itself was just like, no, this is what we intended, this is fine, like, you guys are just butthurt over this, like, come on! Own up to the fact that this is a problem in the industry that's costing people jobs, it's costing people money, and it's like an ethical, like, I don't know what the word for it is, crockpot is what I'm going to use.
Yeah.
That's
Sorry.
not the only problem with it, of course, but like that's the biggest problem, if you ask me. That's just my humble opinion on the matter. Technology should be used to help better and forward causes for other people, and instead we get it just fucking butchering Cloud for the millionth time.
Oh yeah.
Just for fucking company profits.
I just
Whatever.
I'm just curious. I'm just curious what's going on over at Mad Catz that a public apology wasn't allowed.
Right.
What the fuck's that up about?
Yeah. What goes on behind closed doors? Is Markman still working for them? I'm not even sure.
Who?
Mark
Who?
Julio. If you ever played Dive Kick and the character Markman,
Oh.
that's Mark Julio's personified character, basically. He was like the representative and he was selling
Oh.
sticks for them. He also works closely with Harada, who works on Tekken.
I see.
They're
That makes sense.
buddies.
I have played Dive Kick a couple times in my
Dive
life.
Kick.
It's good. You know
I
what else is
mean,
good? Footsies.
it's a product of its time. Footsies has definitely come to replace Dive Kick as that, although I think there might be a void, as of right now, for like what the simple fighting game is.
A lot of the stuff that was put in Dive Kick, if I remember, was like stuff that came directly from the FGC and
Right.
characters based on certain
in-jokes.
figureheads in the FGC at the time. So it's like this weird mishmash of goofy nonsense happening.
At this point, it's a time capsule. You just
Yeah,
open
it's
up
a
this
time
game
capsule.
and just like witness what the FGC has to offer in glorious 2012.
How them satirizing themselves, basically.
Indeed.
But footsies, as we have played, is fun as well.
Yes.
Just
Not so much satire, it is just more of a simple understanding of like what a fighting game is.
yeah,
You have
footsies is
some
the
moves that are special moves, but like mostly it's just you want to donkey kick your opponent.
yeah, footsies is all neutral. That's
Yep.
why it's called footsies. I kicked your ass at it for a good chunk of time there.
Yeah.
If I remember correctly. I mashed out a raging demon on accident.
I mean, that's gonna happen sometimes if you can actually control it and plan it. It's a lot more potent, but like, there you go.
Yeah. I think because I was trying to punish, and the way I mashed apparently was the raging demon input, and I was like, oh, we lost our minds. Anyways,
I'm getting my ass beat a lot this week. Not in Tekken though. I had a really nice match with like a Kazuya versus Heihachi, the old family rivalry, and like actually playing through that and like having some competent skills in Tekken. I can safely say, oh boy, that feels like Ryu versus Ken. It has that spice to it. I like it. It's good. Does anyone want to talk about Chipotle Cup? I mean Capcom Cup?
Are you asking if I'm anyone?
No, I just want to like make a little kind of conjecture point of it. Like, I'm sure both games were great. Like, some of the pools that I watched this weekend for like Tekken World Finals were also great. But like, I think sponsorships are a little out of hand these days. Maybe it's me because like I'm thinking back to like AGDQ, which is also coming up, and seeing like, oh hey, people are just talking about shirts, plushies on stage, and like doing things, but like. That has spread the fighting game culture, and it's a little different. It's a little hard to get used to because you're seeing like Ultra David commentating next to someone else with like a cup of Chipotle chips and guac, and it's just like product placement.
Yeah, so a
advertising.
lot of
is this what rock and roll sold out to back then?
Maybe. Look, the thing that makes GDQ sponsors so specific is that it's like. They usually make stuff for GDQ, like related to GDQ.
Fangamer and the Yeti and like partner companies like that.
So stuff that's like video game adjacent.
Yeah. It is
they make stuff that's video game adjacent.
And around their stuff. And it's like a good culture sort of thing, and I love that. The Tekken thing about stuff with like the action figures and the Capcom stuff with Chipotle is just like just chilling. Feels like it
is product placement. It is just the product. But now it's with the video game. It's still the same product. It's just, it's literally like when you go into Crazy Taxi and someone asks you to take you to the Pizza Hut.
Right.
Or the KFC. Or the combination KFC, Pizza Hut, Taco Bell. Or the Levi's jeans. Fucking, I'm remembering all the different product placements in that game.
Do you think there's definitely going to be product placements in the Crazy Taxi reboot coming up, but like, yeah.
I mean, the product placements in the incremental game were all jokes based on Sega franchises. I would love to go get some. I would love to go get some of Knuckles' sandwiches.
If you want a Knuckles sandwich, just get a Knuckles full of chips. Like, this is just Dorito Pope content all over again. We're gonna keep seeing it, and it's gonna be in different forms. This is the form that it took on, but really, I just enjoyed watching some nice Tekken over the weekend. Shoutouts to this one crazy match with, like, the American players and, like, the Jack 7 that was going on there. Beautiful play. Like, I appreciate good Tekken. I can't remember it, but I can appreciate it nevertheless.
Good-ass Tekken is good-ass Tekken.
Play some awesome fighting games, yeah.
Or don't, if you're like me.
You can be Red, or you can be Mask. There is no in-between.
Damn. The two genders, Red and Mask.
Yeah, that's getting cut.
Hey. That's a quality joke.
We gotta be fair to our LGBT community, though.
Well, the whole point is it's mocking them. The whole point is mocking people who say there's only two genders.
Look.
It's like there was there's only two sexes: the sex I had with your mom and the sex I had with your dad. Like, the whole point...
The naivety to that sentence, and, like, I know you're making a point here, but just, like, God damn
The whole point is those jokes are meant to mock people who say that for realsies. It's like, the two genders.
It's fair,
F
but, like,
and
at
G.
the same time, anyone that I see that has, like, a Find/Jesus t-shirt, I'm just, like, hesitant to fucking even trust them in society, is the thing.
My gender, my pronouns are Jesus Christ.
Yeah, that is my point here. It's kind of, like, off the rails. Like, you can have that. It just goes way too off the rails.
At that point, we're mocking that dumbass. Because
exactly.
What do you mean? I can't believe you took Jesus Christ's name for yourself, you stupid bitch. It's like, I'm Christian, therefore my pronouns are Jesus Christ. That's sacrilegious. You blew it. You blew.
This is like culture. There's culture shock, and there's 10,000 volts on culture.
No.
Like,
there's culture shock, and then there's culture schlock. We've gone off we went off the deep end, mocking the dumbest assholes known to man.
We've gone off jump the shark, going off the deep end. The shark started chasing us, and we just kept swimming.
No. I'm gonna tie this back to Mario 64. You ready? We jumped the boss bass.
We jumped the boss bass. This episode does not have a sponsor. We just want to bring people in to kind of take a look at the show, see what we have going on. If they like us, support us. Go to coffee.com/mask31 and check out our page, and feel free to consider donating. But that's the only kind of W I've gotten this week, because you've been kicking my ass in another game here.
Oh, yeah?
This Kirby Air Ride mod that I pulled up here, we've played that a little bit.
We played it,
Oh my god.
It's funny that you say that I kicked your ass at it, because I'm pretty sure we were trading the entire time.
We were, yeah, but in terms of just skills for collecting most of the items there, you've got that down. You've definitely got that down.
That is my strategy, and every time I've played that game is just collect as much shit as you can. Don't even bother getting a different star. I stick with the compact star, and that can sometimes bite me in the ass, but oftentimes it doesn't. So it's I'm out here grabbing as many patches as I possibly can. You got the 2 all patches that you had the opportunity to grab, unfortunately. I wasn't able to get a single one.
Right, I got the one from Dynablade, and I got the one from the UFO, because you went up there a little too early and didn't play the patient game.
Well, no, I went up there when I literally did not have the glide to fly up there. I tried to get up there, and I just fell like a rock.
You could have just used the volcano.
I could have. Oh, man, you're right. That's fair. I didn't think of it at the time. Anyways.
Yeah. I mean, I guess that was just what I thought to use. That's always what I used. Air Ride is a game that has a special place in my heart. I made a cardboard box cutout when I was 8 years old of this thing, and Kirby games have kind of always stuck with me through my speedrunning career, of course. But also, just this mod pack, I'm not surprised that it exists, but it kind of goes to say that we both did this on a whim. The whole idea of, us playing this, Red just tweeted out a silly picture someone made of, Air Ride with all the items and collecting you do in City Trial.
Yeah,
and,
so,
that was the spark.
It's just Kirby flying down into a bunch of patches that include some down patches and also some fake ones.
Yeah.
But it was I just saw it, and it was recommended to me in my For You tab, and I was like, oh, that's neat. I'll retweet that.
And then I took that and was just is there a community mod patch for this? In fact, there was.
And there's the thing about the debug lets you choose between 3 different vehicle styles, because it's they have your vanilla, where all the vehicles are as they were, and then you have these 2 other rebalancing, S, which is something DX, and then also
ARDX.
Mode.
So the Air Ride DX mod pack was where those vehicles were from, and it gave crazy skins to the rides. You had a rainbow wing star. You had a dark cart star.
The dark wagon star in the ARDX mod was the way the trick to it was that as you fly, you build up your meter, and as the higher that meter goes, the faster you go permanently, basically. So once it maxes out, once you max it out, you're basically in this permanent overcharge mode where you can't control yourself, but you're going super fast.
Yeah.
But also, the thing that got me about the mod was how they rebalanced the HP values to be way lower. So a lot of stars are just one hit away from getting murked. And it's kind of concerning.
You're really
almost.
Squishy. You are very squishy in this game.
In those mods,
if you're playing with the ARDX pack, there's also tournament packs for multiplayer and stuff. A lot of these mod packs nowadays are just other mod packs just merged into each other, and this is another one of those. It's the NetPlay group, and we'll link that in the show notes as well for those curious. It's not too hard to get set up. All you need is the latest version of Dolphin, the custom file. We're not going to tell you where to get that. And then just a couple of gecko codes. And then you're pretty much good to go.
Yeehaw. And we did net play.
And yeah,
And it was
Dolphin NetPlay is pretty easy to set up, pretty simple. You just use like an external server and a room code. It's not too hard.
Yeah, the extra colors that they threw in were nice. And we went into the checklist and it's all purple. Those fucking hackers.
They did some cheeky stuff. They also added really nice music tracks to the game. A lot of good selections. A lot of stuff from like later Kirby games in the series, and a lot of stuff that seems like it was lifted from OC Remix, which like cool, but are they in the credits? I sure hope they are.
I mean, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But it's I don't know if the one song we suspected was OC Remix. I couldn't find on their site. It may have been in an album for all I know.
Right.
But yeah, it's a bit of not. I could not find any evidence, but I could believe it with how it sounded. The drum and bass factory theme.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it just kicks. I like the Heavy Lobster theme that they had going on in the game too.
Oh yeah, that was good.
Yeah, I think that was the Rainbow Curse mix, but like yeah, because it had like RC next to it.
Yeah.
They drew stuff from like Robobot. They drew stuff up to like they didn't have anything from like Forgotten Land, so like nothing from there. But like all the older stuff past that was really nice. You can change item frequency. There's some other settings there, and definitely 2 thumbs up. Well, definitely at least 1.5 thumbs up. There are some iffy parts of it, like the AI balancing is still kind of eh. The AIs, like, at higher levels are still just out there collecting stuff and not really going after you. I mean, that's not a problem for our playstyle, but, like, for others, your mileage may vary on that. In terms of just, like, the events at the end, you can set what you're going to get. And you can also, change the item frequency so you get more drops.
We set it from regular to high at one point. I was still grabbing 10 of everything at least, even on regular, so.
Oh, and there are some custom maps.
Oh yeah, you can roll their custom. Their skins, like
they're skins, not maps. I would love for there to be like different actual areas in like City Trial to kind of explore, like new areas, new cities.
Yeah, but I'm sure that's a whole ass thing that needs to be done on its own, and has to figure out how to get through no, we need to replace the map with something and replace everything. Like I'm sure there's like a lot of technical shit to that one.
Absolutely, but I'm sure someone will pick it up if they think it's worth it.
Yeah. It was fun being able to see how high the timer could go.
Right, yeah, you can actually set like limit durations up to 99 minutes per your game.
Because in vanilla Kirby Air Ride, you could go between 3 and 7 minutes for City Trial. With the mod we use, you could go between 1 and 99 minutes. Just like it's Smash Brothers. And the way they have the setting is like you could set the events that can pop up in random. Because you can normally select what event you want or just go random. But this is like the random stage select.
Right.
They literally added a lot of like the debug menu is literally Melee's debug menu, for fuck's sake.
I don't think that has anything to do with them. Sakurai used the same game engine.
I figured.
Yeah.
But it's like it began to like to see that random stage selection thingy. It was like, yeah, that feels Melee.
And like
understandable.
The fact that they just threw the Smash 64 like menu theme in there with that's the modders did. That's just the cherry on top.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, much fun. We'll link it in the show notes.
Would recommend.
Yeah.
You can also, if you hit L or R on your character when you're waiting to hit start, you can
get some alternate colors like Cherry Kirby.
Get some Cherry Kirby, or choose White Kirby and go into an alternate color and get Black Kirby instead.
Yeah.
I wonder if those colors are from Amazing Mirror.
I think that's where they were inspired from, yeah.
Because that's the ultimate customization of a Kirby game comes to Amazing Mirror, which is hilarious to think about.
Squeak Squad adopted that customization too, to be fair.
Oh, shit. Oh, God. Kirby and the Amazing Mirror. They have a run of that at GDQ. 3 players.
Shit. When is it? Has it already happened?
It's already happened because it's uploaded on YouTube.
Okay. Just link it to me. Reddmasq will be at the Indiana Computer Festival in April. Be sure to stick around for a live edition of the Reddmasq Podcast.
We'll attempt to do Centipede, because I have a Centipede machine there, apparently. The same way I did with my friend.
And I'm surprised when you were telling me this, like you didn't have as much experience with like Atari games prior to this, so like I'll
Well,
definitely be looking
I
to
had
get into you to like Atari
hold on.
Flashback or something.
Now fucking hold on. I had
Okay.
experience with Centipede before.
Okay.
I play at some point. It may have been on my dad's old ass work laptop. I played Centipede on that shit, and I specifically remember the second level color scheme because it's the light blue, the cyan and magenta color scheme that I
Mm-hmm.
love so much.
Palette swaps
Just
are always like a good
yeah,
technique to just bring in just new
yeah.
color to your stuff.
It's to tell you
Old
that it's a
style.
new stage, and then they
Yeah.
do increase the difficulty. Like, oh, we're gonna include more Centipede. Oh, it's faster now. Even though the version we played was like at max speed, so that's probably why we had such a hard time.
Yeah, you know what version of Centipede was the one that I first played?
What?
The 3D version, I believe that was for PlayStation 1, the
Oh
PC
my
port of
god.
that.
I've
With like the
only
kids
seen
that they have
that.
the save and like everything
Yeah.
that's like in polygons, and it's just a strange experience if you ever go back to it like
They basically
nowadays.
added story to Centipede somehow.
Right.
I'm
Yes.
aware of this because I've also played that once in my life. Do you know where I played that?
Where did you play it?
Have you ever heard of a Midwestern pizza chain called Pizza King?
No, I have not.
So okay, so there's a whole story behind there and how it relates to Arnie's. If you ever come by, I could tell you all about it because it's a
Well, I
fucking
mean, on our
earful.
live episode, we could do that.
I'll give you an earful about it because there's
Okay.
nothing important. It's just an earful of bullshit.
Yeah.
But the thing about Pizza King was that their little train they had like a little model train track that they would use to give you your drinks and stuff, which was really neat.
Mm-hmm.
But also, if you put in a quarter into a slot in like a TV, you got to watch TV. Or if there were game controllers at the table, you could play whatever game they had. I played a Tomba game like that, and I played that weird ass Centipede game like that.
Yeah.
It was
I've heard
it
of
was
hotel games that like work like that, but never like PlayStation games. So that is a new
yeah.
thing to me.
Yeah, it was we didn't get very far in Tomba, and we didn't get very far in Centipede on
Right.
the 3D Centipede. It was not good. And they eventually like got rid of like 90% of the game controller stuff because I guess it
Dang.
was too expensive and not many people would have done it anyways. But that was a memory that I had. Poor memory unlocked. The last thing we did is I noticed they had a Wii set up.
Oh no. Like
And my
the old
favorite
school Wii or like the Wii U or just
the
like
Wii. The
oh
Wii.
god.
So the game they had, I'll talk about the game they had in there and what I did with it. They have on the wall, they have a step-by-step instruction list of how to get multiple players into New Super Mario Bros. Wii.
I mean, good.
Good. I can't believe I'm surprised they needed to put those instructions there,
It's
but
literally
okay.
just like connect a controller and then just press
Connect
A.
a controller,
Press
go
1
to
plus 2,
multiplayer.
yeah.
But the game that was actually in there was Mario and Sonic at the 2008 Olympics.
A weird pick.
Yeah, it was just one of the Olympics games. It was a Summer Olympics game.
I mean,
I
it's still better than Carnival Games mini golf. I'll give it credit.
fucking God, I hate how
I knew you were
Dude.
gonna react to that. That was beautiful.
yeah, I'm reacting to that because my younger brother got that as like one of his games, and he kept asking me like, hey, "Can you play with me?"
Oh
And it's like
no.
you have all the game. Like I would have to promise. Like if I promised to play a game with him, I'd have to be like, one caveat: can't be that fucking game. This game
Amazing.
sucks. This game sucks.
Yep.
It's so like if I have to spend time with you and we go to the mini golf game, I'm going. I have to talk to him about this now. Shit,
Okay,
when he comes
wonderful.
home. But yeah, I room with my younger brother. It's okay.
Yeah, we went over that
Uh,
last episode where he was like trying to get out onto like the car and everything.
oh yeah, amazing.
Yeah.
So you brought back some fucking PTSD. But
You're welcome.
anyways, I connected a Wii remote to the fucking thing. I got out of the Wii menu, and the people who were playing it previously had been doing one of like the leagues or like the circuits where you have like a series of games you have to get through. the two games that were remaining were like javelin throw and hammer throw. And I rode my ass up against the Olympic record, and I didn't break them, but I got really damn close. No, it wasn't javelin throw. It was fucking long jump. Long jump and hammer throw.
Yeah.
Long jump, hammer throw. I got super close to breaking the world record in those games. Didn't do it, but I got first place both times. I still came in second in the overall rankings behind Peach. And I was like, I don't know how bad the last people to play this were.
They're probably busy playing the good arcade games.
Yeah. But like the thing is, the difficulty of the league was like I would throw the hammer like 85 meters, right? Mm-hmm. And then the second place was 60 meters. How bad were they? Who the fuck what kid was playing this and didn't understand like motion controls work?
Don't know the controls, yeah. The Wii is a foreign concept at this point to a lot of people. The fact that like you can play with like the Wiimote nunchuck, turn the controller on its side for like a retro controller sort of thing. It's a bit of a lost start in this day and age because when people associate with the Wii is like Wii Sports and like you mentioned before, New Super Mario Brothers and Mario Kart.
Yeah.
That was like all the Wii was to a lot of them. Oh, and Carnival Games Mini Golf.
I had Carnival Games because it was a launch title. And it was fine.
I had Boom Blocks. That's my main game that the family got me.
Yes, Steven Spielberg.
I gotta tell the fucking audience my Steven Spielberg conspiracy theory now. Okay, you brought this upon yourself. You're welcome.
Fine.
Okay, yeah, the fact that he's been doing E.T. and, like, every other budget production of, like, media in terms of, like, movies and games and things, I just think that there's software out there titled Steven Spielberg's, like, a production. That's why his name is literally on everything from Avatar and below. Just, like, this is my stupid conspiracy theory. As I've gotten older and, like, learned about, like, visual effects stuff with, like, Weta and Industrial Lights and Magic, no, it's not. It doesn't exist, but damn it, I want to believe.
Damn. I want to believe.
Yeah. But, like, old school arcades going a little new school. They got modern consoles with the Xbox and the Wii from the sound of it, and this place is still alive, and it's kind of awesome to hear.
Amazing.
You know what else is infuriating, though?
What's infuriating?
Nothing, actually. The Foxy like me is absolutely adorable. We're moving on to our next segment here, so the way I want to approach this...
Hold on.
Yeah.
I have one thing to add, because the whole reason I decided to even play that fucking game, that stupid Olympics game, is because I have a very specific memory of the first Mario and Sonic.
Right, yeah.
The mission mode, right?
Mm-hmm.
The last mission as Mario requires you to beat Sonic at the 100-meter dash. Do you understand how fucking tight the window you have to hit to beat Sonic as Mario at that shit?
It slipped my memory.
Because it took me several tries. My arms hurt like hell the next day. And I was like...
For those that aren't aware, a 100-meter dash on the Wii... I think you get the picture of what's going on. You are failing your controllers harder than the guy at Nintendo's press conference.
There's literally two skill checks to that. The first is getting the timing off the start, so you can build up enough of a gap between you and Sonic because he doesn't accelerate to top speed very fast. He's an AI. The second part is making sure you accelerate and maintain max speed to keep ahead of him because his higher speed stat means he's going to be gaining on you. That's the whole fucking challenge. And it's painful. I wanted to challenge my friend to that godforsaken minigame because it's to me, it's similar to like challenging your friend to a very specific Mario Party minigame that everyone loves.
Right.
Like when I watch Lythero, and they're like playing Mario Party 5, 6. What's the game that has the snowboard spinning mini game?
I couldn't tell you.
Where you have to hit A, B, Y, X in that order as fast as you can to get as many spins as possible.
I feel like that's Mario Party 4.
That is most certainly not 4 because I would know if it was 4.
Damn it.
I had 4.
Damn it.
Also, the best game in 4 is Dungeon Duos. Thank God they brought it back. But anyways,
I
that
was just thinking
snowboard
one with, like, the
minigame.
Bowser minigame, but like that's just
Yeah,
my memory of a favorite one.
yeah, yeah. The snowboard minigame in whatever Mario Party it is a watching Lythero and his friends go at that multiple rounds to try and beat their challenge. It's just raw execution, right?
Right.
You just it's very simple, and you're seeing who can do it the best, and it's weirdly competitive as a result. I did that with my friend for the 100-meter dash. I was Shadow, he was Sonic, to make sure there wasn't much of a stat difference, if any. But it was really funny. But I beat him both. We tried twice. I beat him both times, and I was like, "All right, now let's head out."
Hey.
Did you know that was it Miyamoto who talked about it? It was one of the big Nintendo heads at the time where they talked about the comparison between the Super Famicom and the Super Nintendo controllers. And like he was like the person was like impressed by how they designed it. It was like, "Oh, you made the buttons concave and convex, and you made them a neat little purple for the two sets."
Mm-hmm.
It's a shame I can't call them the red, blue, yellow, green buttons anymore, though.
Yeah.
It was literally just it. Like, oh, neat design decisions. Shame. I miss being able to call them by their colors.
Thank you for listening to this episode. We are hosted on mask31.dev/the-Reddmasq-podcast. You can also find us on Pocket Casts and wherever great podcasts are found.